Hey, hello there, and welcome to the Heat Army podcast. Well, it's what a week it's been. Uninspiring to say a little bit. A little bit dejecting off the two results. We'll concentrate on Tuesday because that was the closest one to us. It fell to a 3-1 defeat away to Scunthorpe. We'd love to have you, if you are down there, send us your messages and message into the show. As ever, we'll be putting up the away day highlights that are put up by the club in the background when we talk about that. Disappointing to go into the lead and say dubious penalty. I haven't watched these highlights yet, so I don't know if it's in there. The handball that was given against Magnay. We'll be talking about that also as well. We're going to be joined by Joel, Solihull Moors fan. Get me words out eventually. We'll talk about him, obviously third top versus third bottom. Big game on Saturday. Get yourselves down. And also as well, I was at the Gateshead Foundation Halloween Spooktacular tonight, which was absolutely fantastic. So I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And if you were there as well, send in your messages. I didn't take any photos of the event. It was absolutely rammed. Obviously, loads of kids there. You don't want to be taking pictures of other people's kids and putting them on a podcast. But the event was absolutely well done. And what I say, we giving out some high praise later on. Everyone involved with that. So send in your messages. Please do. Also like and subscribe, as it says below us. And we'll get into, we've got Craig Hilton. He's put, evening lads, how are you? I'm starting to feel a bit ropey. I've had a boost this afternoon. So if you see me falling asleep, that's why. Evening lads, how are you doing tonight? Well, I've just said we've got David Tron, evening lads. So if you'd like to do like all of those people, please do send it in. And apologies, but we are going to be able to put up, I said apologies last week, that we didn't put up any audio from the last two shows on the wherever you find a normal audio podcast. We will be doing that tonight. We have made room to be able to get the audio in the background of all the StreamYard things. So that's also, it'll all be back to normal this week. So you'll be able to listen to everything. Right. So I'm going to play this in the background. Mickey, of course, went down to Granford Park. He did on Tuesday night. Started off fantastically. First half sounded like it was all gated on BBC Radio. Humberside. Decent commentary. I was listening to that, enjoying the game. Obviously, we capitalised on a little bit of sloppiness at the back. Good build-up play from Madi Youssef. The defender lets Campbell through. We'll see the goals very, very shortly. And from then on, Mickey, it felt like we were in control until about 3 minutes before half-time.
It sounded very promising. I mean, according to their commentators, we could have been 2 or 3-0 up. And I was just thinking to myself, just don't do anything stupid and get in at 1-0 and build from there. And by all accounts, it's a harsh penalty, but the company seems
from what was said, obviously, hopefully we'll see it on here if Jack caught it in the highlight. But obviously, in the build-up play, they said there was no doubt it was a handball. It was just whether was it in the box or out the box. It was one of them contentious ones. So, you've got to say when's luck going to be on Gateshead's side, but you've got to make your own luck as well. We were dominating the game. We've got to make these chances pay. And Adam Campbell, of course, obviously named this show Adam's Goals, top goal scorer this season. He's really putting the shift in. He's stepped up, not that he needed to. But, he's got that goal scorer mantle at the minute, and long may it continue.
He's been outstanding. Whether he's scoring goals or just his general play, he's been outstanding, Adam. In a season where there's a lot of flack flying for the players, not necessarily on mine or your front. Adam's been a beacon, really. I think Mags has as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we can touch on it.
Has been that game without a whole back four.
Yeah.
Basically, no Bales to sit in front of the defence. Knee Blackett. The injuries are caught up with, and I agree with some saying that there needs to be a plan B. I totally agree with that.
I mean, I don't think anyone is thinking that anyone's above scrutiny. Of course, results speak for
Don't want no
themselves,
criticism.
but it's got to be done in the right manner and a little bit of consideration as well. This is a small fan base. We've said it for years. What can be said is echoed here. There's the goal from Campbell there, lovely done. But yeah, no, everyone's entitled to their opinion and criticism. Of course, that's football. But when it's a small fan base, and got to remember, we are such small fry in this league. We're punching above our level. We're competing with the likes of Wrexham for players in this league. If you fancy a player, if it's a good player that you think's good, they're going to have their scouts looking at them as well. Look, what we are doing is phenomenal. We've been unlucky with injuries, and I'm not going to call anybody out. There was a few people said it online. Even whether it was said in jest or seriousness, calling for the manager's head at this stage is disgusting. When you look at the bigger picture, we are a small club. We are doing things the right way. The club's trying to do what they can with what they've got. And if we didn't have all these injuries, it wouldn't be, I don't think, as we wouldn't be in the league position we are. I'm not saying we'd be in the league, but I think just a little bit of consideration and also as well, a little bit of realism. 2 wins, you're up the league, and you're away from the relegation zone. So it's not like we're cast adrift. So title to your opinion, send them in now. Tell us if we're wrong, but I just like a little bit of common sense.
Yeah, I agree. There has to be a plan B, and that's not having to go up Mike and the management at all. I think that's up to them to sit down with his management, his coaches, and the players, and maybe thrash out a few truths amongst each other. Whether it's the players doing it themselves, among themselves. But we just can't keep making the same silly mistakes, and we always look vulnerable from corners and free kicks, and they've scored from a corner. I mean, I'll go back to Woking. I thought Woking were an excellent side as well. And I don't know. It's just injuries for me. But we can't keep making that. But when you got a budget like we've got.
Oh, there we go. Well, you can see from there, he was actually outside the box when he handled that. It's a harsh one. It hit him from behind. Watch. Yeah, not a penalty.
And how the hell is he supposed to? If he's jumping, your arms naturally go up.
Obviously, as contentious as it sounds, you can understand the heartache from Magni on that one. But obviously, second half, they come out with the bit between the teeth. It's gone forth, and they took their chances.
Well,
and that's ultimately
they scored at the perfect time. I mean, just before half time, gives everyone a lift.
Yeah,
it could have been 2 or 3 down, but I mean.
Well, there you go. Perfect corner there. We've got messages coming in. Everyone keeps sending them in. Mr. Luke is put, hello, gents. Another disappointing display against Scunthorpe. Another tough game on Saturday. Hopefully we can pick something up. Well, fingers crossed we can. Johnny Gray has put, great night for the kids' Halloween Foundation do. Thanks to Steve and the team for the party. Not to mention all the football camps on at the stadium this week. We're going to get a little bit into that. Johnny, if you can send us a message a little bit later on when we talk about that, it'd be fantastic. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got another message here. 1 second. Just need to keep going and try and pick up points, keep the faith. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. But, absolutely spot on, lads. We're a small club punching above our weight. The job the management done has been phenomenal. Judge them what they can do when they got the first 11 on the pitch and keep the faith. Look, we said at the beginning of the season, I don't want to sound like a broken record.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. Hook by crook. If we survive, what an amazing job. Yes, we're getting absolutely battered with injuries. But, let's hope it levels out over the season. Let's hope we've had them all now. You know what I mean? Touch wood. Fingers crossed. Anything that you do for superstition, say a little prayer to whoever you believe in. And, we might just be all right. But, yeah. But there should have been 1-1 that game, he's saying. This is the thing. But, we've talked about loan players coming in. We've got players trying to step up to the mark. They're not hiding. Just coming up a little bit short, sadly. But this is why they're here. They're here to learn, and hopefully they can step up. I mean, I can reel off loads of players that in their first 10 games weren't very good for Gateshead and then went on to become absolute legends. So I'm hoping that's keep them positive. Let's see how it keeps going like that. But keep sending your messages as well. We'd love to hear from you. If you're at the foundation night like Johnny Gray, we'd love to hear from Johnny a little bit later on. And also, were you at the game on Tuesday? If you did go down there, let us know. We're only talking about what we heard off the radio. You only get so much of a feel for the game. Was it worse, or was it accurate of what people's assessment was? Send in them messages. But yeah, as I say, but let's try to keep the positives there. Let's say Campbell still pulling the strings in and around there, and there's that man back on the pitch as well, Aaron Martin, linking up with Campbell there. Let's hope we see that from the start on Saturday.
Hopefully. Please, God, mate, put him in. Because we keep losing the ball. The ball goes up front, and I love the players we've got, but we've got no one to hold it up there, and it just keeps coming back.
Yeah, I think
and that's the
dynamic.
Joy you have in Aaron Martin.
It brings that dynamic on, and hopefully you get to have people coming around and supporting them in and around the box. Masons, I watched Scunthorpe at Shields a few weeks ago, and they were absolutely shocking. Well, different game, different time. This is a club that was trying to get out the relegation zone. Now that's us this week. So hopefully we can, bite down hard, learn from our mistakes, and move forward. And that's the process, isn't it? You've got to learn from your mistakes and carry it forward. And I'm sure.
Did you read Mickey Scully's tweets the other night?
I didn't know. I was a bit dejected, and I was like, I'm staying off social media.
He come up with some absolute perler cracking points. Basically, with the players that are out injured are being replaced by young lads.
Yeah.
So the inexperienced. That's probably where the biggest problem is. A lot of injuries, players playing out of position because of the injuries. Mickey Scully come up with some cracking points, and you got to remember this is Mike Williamson's first foray into management.
Yeah,
especially at this level, he's learning as well as some of our players who haven't played at this level.
Without a doubt.
Like I say, there has to be a plan B. We can't just keep making the same bloody mistakes week in, week out, because fans are getting annoyed by it, Davey. And I'm not having to go at Mike at all. I love Mike Williamson.
Well,
we've got to be patient.
Certainly have it. As I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. We got to remember, I'm not going to say we've been spoiled, but we had an amazing season last year. Amazing season. It's a once in a lifetime season as a Gateshead fan, because I've never known anything like that in over 20 odd years. Evening, gents. A few disappointing results Tuesday and Saturday. Saturday, it could have been 4-5 to Woking. I'm hoping Martin starts to hold it up in a big aerial threat. We're speaking to Mickey when leaving the stadium, and he was saying hopefully we can keep the positivity. Well, that's certainly.
It was nice to speak to you, Sam, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, but we're hopefully going to be joined by Joel very shortly, Solihull Moors fan. I think he runs one of the fanzines. I think it's the Bandwagon fanzine. Right. So we'll be speaking to him. So that'd be good to have. So in the meantime, though, please do like and subscribe. The followers have went up, the subscribers have went up, but we can keep doing more. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. The Heat Army podcast needs your help. No, we don't need money. All we need is you to do one simple thing. It'll take less than a second. If you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share whatever post that we put up regarding Gateshead Football Club, it'll go a long way in helping the show build and ultimately helping us push the club to the moon. And as if by magic, we're going to be joined by this beautiful bearded fellow here. Hello there, Joel. How are you doing?
I am okay, thank you. Yeah. Sorry if I sound a bit nasal. I've just had COVID, and
Oh.
typically I tested negative the day after we were playing away at Maidenhead, which is my closest away game to where I live. So it's the way it goes.
Yeah. Well,
Keep it to yourself.
Obviously, third top versus third bottom on Saturday. You must be going into this one full of confidence.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a shame, really. I was hoping you guys would come up and have a fairly decent season because I work away in the northeast a lot. So I thought if it doesn't coincide with a trip this season, then I'll definitely be able to. Because I've not been to Gateshead actually. There's an away game yet. I thought it would definitely coincide at some point, but it looks like you've really been struggling, and it might be a sort of one season show this time around.
Hopefully not. If we've been absolutely pelted with injuries, and we had the last home game, we had 3 players off at half time. Was that the one before? I'm sorry, it's just that many injuries. We're losing players left.
That was for the 5 that was already in the stand.
Yeah. So we're really we've hit a rough patch on injuries considering we barely had any last year. So it's just been one of them things. But hopefully we'll get them back and start to play a better brand of football because we're still trying to play our brand. But I think we just need some of them key players back. But seeing just talking about yourselves, you're up there in third. You've not really making the headlines that the big boys are making because of obvious reasons of their reputations. But you're in and around there and you're just slowly picking up the points.
Yeah, I mean, last season we didn't get off to a great start and then just slowly built up momentum through the season. The style of play really started to come together. It's a bit different this season because we've had a year under Neil Ardley as manager now. So he was fresh in at the beginning of last season. So I think it took a little bit of a while to sort of impose his style of play on the team and get them really sort of cohesive in sort of the way he wanted the game played. But then that really sort of kicked in come January time, especially with Andy Dallas starting to bag a goal a game or so. After that point, it really started to sort of hum along, and hopefully we're doing the same this season. We just go under the radar for a little bit, and then can hit the right run of form at the right time.
Let's say because obviously we know who they are. Notts County and Wrexham, they're getting all the headlines at the moment, whether it be for goal scorers or famous owners. Do you think that's helping you a little bit, just to slide in there and just embed yourselves in behind them?
I think it probably means there's a little bit less pressure. I think internally there's obviously pressure. Like we want to do well. The players are ambitious. They've come to the club. Yes, because we can pay a little bit of money, but also because they want to do well. They buy into the project. They come because they know that the club's aiming for promotion. So yeah, there's a little bit of pressure that we know we know that's where we want to be, but there's not the same external pressure of all of the attention that comes with being a Chesterfield or a Notts County, or sort of the attention seeking that comes with being Wrexham.
It certainly does.
It's become a bit of a Cinderella story, really, haven't the Solihull Moors? Because they're not one of the big boys I'd heard of in non-league football until he's actually got into the National League. And you had a couple of seasons of struggle, and Tim Flowers come, and then all of a sudden, Audley come in and whoosh.
Yeah, that's basically it, to be honest. I think we're probably all still waiting for the moment that it all turns back into a pumpkin. But we had a lot of investment over the last couple of years. Local businessman Darrell Eales has come in and he's spent a bit of money in terms of infrastructure. I think in the season before Tim Flowers came in, he'd been interested in buying the club, and I think he was kind of putting a little bit of money on the sly to help with that great escape season where we were sort of rooted to the bottom for probably the first half of the season, really, until being on promotion form for really the second half of that season, and then taking that into the next season where we finished second. But yeah, since then there's been a lot of changes, a lot of development of the ground, new training ground, more investment in the squad, but more investment coming in from sort of his contacts and people that he's been able to get to start backing the club in terms of sponsorship and in terms of joining the board and that sort of thing. So hopefully with that, it's it's going to be sustainable.
How is it translated onto the terraces as the crowds went up in this time?
Yeah, I think they've been steadily building anyway, and obviously being successful on the pitch makes a huge difference. But certainly, over the past few seasons, you can see the difference where we were never playing in front of that many people. To be honest, I started following the club when it was formed in the merger in 2007, and back then we were playing in front of maybe 200, 300 on a good day, and then that got to about maybe 500 by the time we'd won the National League North. And then now we've definitely got a hardcore who'll be there week in, week out, midweek, guarantees 1,000. And then, beyond that for big games, we'll sell out. But like anything, it's a slow process, isn't it? You've got to get that built over time. And I think we've done that in a nice way in that it's a lot of kids who come down, a lot of families. I think we're one of the clubs with the most youth and community sides of pretty much any professional club in England at the moment. So it's really nice to have that sort of building it through community outreach sort of thing.
Yeah. And to say we've gone, we talked a little bit about Gateshead tonight. They've had their foundation had a big Halloween party for the local kids as well. So it's nice to see clubs at our level reaching out and doing that extra mile. We've got a message here from Mason. He's picked up what you said before. We want to ask Joel, who did you support before Solihull were formed?
So, it's an interesting question in that I think there's still, not so much anymore, but there's still a little bit of people who were around before the merger who are still a little bit like, well, I was always Solihull Borough, or I was always Moor Green. I had occasionally popped down and watched both of the clubs, not particularly regularly. Like I'd seen maybe 2 games of each over the course of my entire life up until that point. But I was brought up on Birmingham City actually, and it kind of coincided that I was in my late teens, getting towards going to university, and the Blues were in the Premier League and it was expensive. So having a new club with a new identity form on my doorstep that I could afford to pay my £5 and go and watch was godsend really, and not really ever look back.
Oh, fantastic. Everyone finds their club somehow, don't they? That's the main thing. But yeah, so we've got to. I've said Adi Yusuf used to play for you. So what were your memories of him? Because we haven't seen him hit any heights yet. We've only seen like cameo appearances, really.
He's an interesting one. His main spell with us was great. Obviously, he's got the talent. He's a natural goal scorer. He's more of a poacher, to be perfectly honest. I don't think he's going to be the kind of player that creates loads and loads, either for himself or others. But he's certainly, if you've got balls going in and around the box, he's someone who's got that natural instinct to put them away. And yeah, he was a good goal scorer for us in his first stint. Then he got poached by Blackpool. Didn't really. I think he got poached and the manager got sacked over the summer. Mm-hmm. So then it was like, well, who's this non-league lad that we brought in? And he never really got a chance to make an appearance there. So he came back on loan. Didn't really impress. Obviously, hadn't been getting a lot of match practice. Had been away from us for a few months and coming back into the side. So it ended is kind of a sort of never go back story at the end. It ended in a bit of a flop for him with the loan spell. But hopefully he can find a bit of form, because when he's on it, he's a really, really good goal scorer. And it'd be nice to see him thrive somewhere else again, because I think he's had a really rough patch.
Crossed for Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's one of them, isn't it? You never know when you're facing the next player.
Yeah,
it's typical that they're going to score, or they're going to do something controversial, or they're going to get sent off. Something will happen.
And do you know how many fans might be travelling up on Saturday?
I don't off the top of my head, because I think there are about 100 there on Tuesday, just gone at Maidenhead, which is not bad really for a Tuesday night. It's not a massive away trip, in terms of it's just down the M40. But with things as they are, with us not having a massive away following most of the time, if we're perfectly honest, I think 100 on a Tuesday night at Maidenhead is not bad. I don't think it'll be 100 on Saturday. I think the length of the trip will probably put a lot of people off. Won't be cheap. But yeah, let's hope that it's a reasonable number and they make some noise and sample the fantastic South Tyneside hospitality.
Oh yes.
Well, plenty good hospitality.
Who will be your main dangers on Saturday? Who's the players we've got to look out for?
Joe Sabara, 100% Joe Sabara. He's a tiny, diminutive, quick attacking midfielder who's both a sort of creator and a finisher. Really, really good technical player. We signed him actually from Burton Albion, and he's got a handful of Championship and League One appearances to his name for them. And I mean, I don't see why they released him. Like he's come in and he's been great for us the whole time he's been here. Looked like he doesn't really belong at this level, so he'll be a real one to watch. Then the forwards, all three of them really, whichever one, two, or three of them start, maybe all three.
Kelly Evans there.
What's that? Sorry,
Is Kelly Evans there?
No, it's there's Josh Kelly, there's Andy Dallas, and there is Reed, and they're all really, really talented attacking players. Dallas was great for us last season. Kelly was great at Maidenhead last season.
That's the one I meant.
Yeah, I got that. Lots of goals in the team. And then otherwise, Ryan Barnett, he's another midfield player, more of a wing type player. Again, very technically gifted, very creative. So I think certainly going forward, those will be the ones to watch. If we're having to do a lot of defending, then it'll be probably Callum Howe who stands out. He's the big commanding centre back, club captain.
I think we've had him on loan. And with Davy Callum Howe.
I think so. Yeah, I think he was on loan with us.
Lad.
Yeah, I think he might actually scored as well on his debut. I think he definitely scored in the FA Cup. I think when he was with us. So yeah, there's a name.
You didn't fall on your ass when you get near someone guns near you, do you?
Well, to be honest, probably a few players that you think are a bit like that. If Jamie Osborne's available and plays, he's the sort of
he's the flamboyant one.
He's the wind up merchant. He loves to wind up the opposition. He loves to get himself booked by constantly chatting to the ref. He's not shy to going down easy from time to time as well. But he does get kicked a lot because he's very good. So kind of swings both ways. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be probably a few times on Saturday that you're venting a few feelings about players going down. But
yeah, well, I'll try and I'll be complimentary on the commentary about them then if he does go down. Have you got any questions for us? Is there anything you'd like to know about Gateshead from your point of view or anything like that?
I mean, I think I'd be a lot more excited and interested if I was able to go on Saturday. I think actually that'd be my main question. Like, I've not been able to get to the international stadium yet at all. We've played in the same division quite a few times. I think I've just always narrowly missed out for one reason or another. What's it like playing at a ground like that? What's the atmosphere like on a match day? How does it work in terms of how's the stadium used?
If you've got a good crowd in, if you've got close to 1,000 in the home end, and the singing section gets going, it just feels like any other ground to me. Obviously, you're not as close. I'm used to that though. You get a good view of the ground, good view of the pitch. You're a little bit back from it, but it's our home. I'm used to it. I can imagine from your own perspective, if you're close to the pitch at your home ground, it will be a little bit alien coming. But for me, it is where it is, and I don't mind it at all. But Mickey, what's your thoughts?
As someone who sat there for over 36 years now, so it's just the same for me. If we've got at the back of our stand, we've got a wire that's hung up where the lads hang the flags. It's nicknamed the clothesline. They get going, they make one hell of a racket. But I think when it's going well, you'll hear one more. They'll try to back them, but once I think it was Woking were winning 2-0. As soon as they got the third, they just died.
Yeah.
But for yous, I mean, there's no roof on the stand if they put you in that stand.
The away fans are putting the false stand. There used to be like a tarpaulin roof on it, like a taut thing. That came off a few years ago in heavy wind and was never replaced. So if the time to visit a gated stadium is probably past now. I think we've passed. I think last weekend against Woking was probably the best it's going to get for a long while. It's a cold stadium because it is on the banks of the Tyne. The wind just howls through. It is the coldest place on earth on a January's evening. So any fan that's in the away end, I do not envy them at all. You're open to the elements, put it that way.
But I will say, you've got a pub down there, what most away fans go to, called the Schooner. Get yourselves down there. The beer's nice. There's a selection of beers especially if you're into your real ales. There's plenty of real ales down there. So visit the Schooner, and the pies at Gated are fantastic.
They certainly are. Dixon's pies. We'd like to get sponsored by them if they'd be. But just before we let you go, Joel, prediction for Saturday. Come on. Last week, the guest got it absolutely spot on, 3-1. So I don't want you to get it right unless you're saying Gated's going to win. But I'll let you have your stab.
I mean, I think 3-1 probably sounds about right again. I don't know if we'll keep a clean sheet. I'd like us to. I don't know if we will. But yeah, I think we'll win. I think, unfortunately for you, probably. Yeah. It doesn't. I can't see us not getting at least a point out of the game at the very worst.
Oh, well, we'll have to see what happens. But
I hate his optimism.
I do, yeah. I remember when we had optimism like that last season. As we say to everyone, good luck for the rest of the season, just not on Saturday. It'll be, hopefully we can get you back on for the reverse fixture as well later in the season. That would be fantastic. And
absolutely, stay in touch. And actually, maybe next time I am in your neck of the woods, I'll drop in if you're at home just to tick it off.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. That'll be good.
Get well soon, mate.
First and foremost. Hope you're
very much.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, Joel.
Bye. Cheers, bud.
There we go. That was Joel there. Fantastic to have him on from the bandwagon fanzine there for Solihull Moors. So really good, really good. Right, we're going to play another little advert from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what happened earlier this evening in the Gate FC Foundation. Well, as mentioned just before that, I took the wife and me took the kids to the Gate FC Foundation Halloween party tonight at Bensham Grove. It was absolutely fantastic. It was packed. It was well organized. The kids all had a great time. How many times you go to a kids party and not hear any tears? I didn't hear any. That shows you how good it was. And just a big well done to Steve Thornton, to Tracy Wilson, and a host of other names that I'm sorry I don't know the names of who were there doing their part, and Ben Clark as well. So a massive pat on the back to all of them, and please do follow the Gates FC Foundation on all of the social medias. They're there as well. And we did have a message earlier on from it was Johnny Gray. So if Johnny Gray could send us another message and let us know about his experience there tonight, that would be absolutely amazing. Please do send in, because I think we should really give the people their flowers when they deserve it, and the praise, because we see things like this going on with the foundation, but they're doing things all year round behind the scenes. It might not involve or interest you at different parts of the community, like there's Pilates lessons and things like that. There's loads of stuff, so please do follow it and get involved, because they're doing amazing things in the community, and tonight was just one of those things.
Honestly, one of the things that I think they're going to start doing is showing people who are not used to living by themselves how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Showing them how to make things from scratch, and I think it's an excellent idea, absolutely brilliant idea.
As I say,
football camps that spring up, the coaching camps that they have in the school holidays.
Yeah,
Doing a brilliant job.
I mean, we've seen pictures on social media. I say if you haven't followed them already, you'll see all the kids out there playing football. It's under the banner of Gateshead Foundation, and it's just amazing. And hopefully, we'll see some of these youngsters and families come along to match days soon. I know those tickets given out at the party tonight, so hopefully, we'll see some of these people coming along and seeing the Heat play. And we've got two massive games coming up. Of course, Solihull Moors on Saturday, third top versus third bottom. Gateshead's got to be the best, and hopefully we can get something out of it. And then the following week, FA Cup Magic, first round proper against Stevenage. So we
in the middle.
Did I miss Joe? Yeah, we've got Chesterfield away as well, isn't it? In the middle of that. Yeah, so there we go. Apologies.
So if anybody's got any space in the car, there is now.
Yeah. So yes, it's it's a busy week. They're all big games this season, and we need your support and get down there. I know we do provide match commentary, but the best place to experience it is at the game, and that is where the lads need you. They need your support. Be the 12th man and help us get through. We've got Sam Pendleton sent another message here. I agree with Mickey. Too many mistakes are happening. It's a learning process. It's important that we keep faith in making busted. Main aim for me is survival. We play long balls to Campbell and hope to win them. But in the air, but like Mickey said, we need a plan B. We do. We've got one here. I've got a ticket for the FA Cup game already, Stevenage. We've got a lot of hard games coming up. Yeah, so it's going to be really good, them games. Also as well, Mickey, the ladies, they're backfiring on all cylinders. Come on, tell me about it. Are you there?
Oh.
Did you hear us? Oh, I think we're having trouble with Mickey. Can you hear me, Mickey?
You're sticking there, Dave. I don't know.
It's sticking at your end. Can you hear me? Well,
I've got full signal.
Have you? Well, then we'll check you out. So hang on, we've got a message here from Johnny Gray. I took the 3 girls along to the Halloween party. They had a great time tonight, but the foundation has been great for them all season long. Got them into footy and Gateshead fans for life. That is fantastic. Thank you, Johnny, for sending in your message.
Yeah.
That's just one of the things that we want to hear about. Right. So can you hear us now, Mickey? Are we in sync? Yeah. There we go. What's in the ladies' game?
I think so.
Were you there on Sunday?
I certainly was there on Sunday. I've gone off this.
Oh, we're having a little bit of trouble here with Mickey.
Are we back? Because I've just went on and off all of a sudden.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. So tell her we can hear you.
I'll log off and come back on.
Okay, right. So he's going to leave me by myself to look beautiful for all you people there. Right, while we're on, a little bit of housekeeping. Please
You're breaking up, mate.
So I think Mickey's having trouble. So I'll kick him off there, let him tune back in. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, please do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and that's what we want to do. We are providing full match commentary on Saturday. Please do join us if you're unable to get to the game, or if you're ill. God, there's a lot of COVID back about, even though it's not in the headlines like it was. So we're waiting for Mickey to come back. He's just disappeared. But yeah, if you're listening from abroad, please do let us know where you're listening from and join in. But please like and subscribe and like this video as well. Please do that, because that will help us. It's just a little thing. We're not after money or anything. Just hit the like button and share, subscribe, and help us reach more people, because that's what we want to do and get in amongst it. We've got a message here from Sam Pendleton. Fair play to Dan Ward goal. Goal from him. Ollie's pass was De Bruyne would have been proud of. It was a good pass through, actually, that Dan Ward. And yeah, so Mickey, is he back? Hello.
Yeah,
he's back. There we go. So you haven't missed much, Mickey. I called you every word under the sun. But go on, tell me about the ladies' game.
No, I'm not used to. The other ladies on Sunday down at Hartlepool's women, absolutely phenomenal. I know this is big words to say, but I think that is our most complete performance since the girls actually were formed. They were absolutely phenomenal.
They come from behind as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they were 1-0 down, and it was totally against the run of play when Hartlepool scored. Carly was very unlucky not to. She saved it, and it's come straight back to the centre forward who's tapped in. We scored and equalised exactly the same through Jess, and then Jess has went through late with 10 minutes ago and won it. But every one of them, I mean, I know they work the socks off every week, but even the lasses that come on off the bench, they contributed to the performance as well. Charlotte and Sophie in midfield. I mean, I give Charlotte man of the match, but Sophie was very close. Charlotte and Sophie in midfield were absolutely fantastic.
Just a little bit, just before you carry on there, we've got a message from Johnny Gray. Good to see some of the ladies helping out Ben Clark today at the footy camp. That's good. Fantastic to hear excellent. That being involved in all aspects.
Really, really nice girls among them as well. I mean, we don't have a player of the month as such for the lasses. I think we should probably start doing it. There'll be a lot of contenders, but I've got to give it a special mention. One of the players that's really, really started well is young Dion. Mm-hmm. I think she's been outstanding for most of the season she's played. Jess as well. Sophie. I could go through the names, but if there was a player of the month for the lasses, I would give it to Dion. She's been absolutely brilliant.
That's what we'll give it. The Heat Army podcast Ladies Player of the Month goes to Dion from Mickey. No, that's great. And Dion, lovely girl. We've had her on the show many times, and hopefully we can get her on going forward in the future. The ladies do train on a Thursday night, so we're struggling to get. We're going to try and get something sorted. But we've got Sam Pendleton. But hopefully we can get highlights of the ladies' games and interviews with the managers if possible. Yeah, it depends if they can get a volunteer to go down to cover the games. This is the thing. Sam, are you available? Get yourself down, Sam. Get your name down. So I know he's a very talented budding journalist.
I mean, Sam. Carl was by himself on Saturday. Hugo was on holiday, and his kit man Rusty was at the new White Hart Lane. So he's all by his Todd.
Well, he got the job done, didn't he? He got the 3 points all by himself. He doesn't need them. He'll do it by himself all the time.
And we've got the best linesman as well in Kieran.
Oh, well, there you go. See, it's all coming together for the ladies. Right, we've got predictions. If you'd like to send them in, I know Liv Walden, she's put 2-1 is my prediction for Saturday. So if you'd like to send in your predictions, please do send them in, and we'll put them up on screen. I say we'll probably end a little bit earlier at 8. So get them in now, send them, and say it's that's the way it is. And just as we're going to say, I could have brought the fixtures up if I had a thought about this beforehand. I'll just show you my bold spot. So obviously we've got Solihull Moors, then we have the game with Chesterfield on the 3rd, isn't it? Is it 2nd or 3rd? First. There we go. We got there in the end, and then. Yeah, so it is going to be a tough game. I'd love to go back down to Chesterfield and cover that one. I covered a game there a couple of seasons ago. It was quite.
If you're driving down there, isn't that because Trina's looking for a spot to go? Trina wants to go.
Does she? Oh well, we might have to have a look. We've got predictions are flying in now. We've got 1-0 if we are lucky, 1-1 says Sam Pendleton. And who do the ladies play next, Mickey? Do you know?
Norton and Stockton on Sunday at home, 2 o'clock kickoff.
Oh, there we go. So Sam, do you want to get down there and cover it? Then we have can I ask what date do we enter the FA Trophy? I do believe it is in January. And it is 1 second. No, it isn't. December 17th is the 3rd round of the FA Trophy where we enter. So it will be before Christmas.
Well,
on that one. So yeah, not too long away. We'll see if any local teams get through to make it that little bit more exciting in the early rounds where we enter. As I say, the competition's in full swing at the moment. I think the first round proper has just been last weekend, hasn't it? Or is it coming this weekend? One of the two. So yeah. So it's all
Mike
good.
doesn't really take serious.
Well, we'll see what happens this year on that. So hopefully, we get a good cup run. Hopefully, we can continue in the FA Cup as well. Get some coffers into the club. Get a big tie. That's what we want. We want Man U at home or Newcastle at home and give them a beating. You can just see it now. Aaron Martin overhead kick hat trick. Oh,
75,000.
Oh,
Nice,
and
nice.
all of them
Yeah,
Heat fans. All of them Heat fans as well. Right, I would say I still send a message in. We've got here. I did have a message here. We've got. We're going for a big one here. 4-2, but it could be the other way. Thanks for the optimism. First round is on. Dunstan are playing high flying Colville Town, who upset Notts County. Yeah, they've got a big tie there. That's right.
Yeah, I see.
And also as well, there was a good article today with Mark Crovers with Dunstan forward Michael Fowler, who's wanting to get back into the full-time games. Keep an eye out for that name. I think we can give Stevenage a good game. We gave Charlton a real game last season. We should have won. Well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but at least we give a good account to ourselves. It was a good night.
That's it. Stevenage is one of them.
They were a bogey side for years. Yeah, they were always horrible to play. They never played good football. It was always a stagnated game, and they'd pop up with a winner. Over the years, I always felt that was the way.
Stiff breeze wouldn't make them dive over.
Yeah. It's them. Kidderminster used to be the same years ago as well. They were one of them sides. Always used to go down, but we'll see what happens. I don't mind them. I don't mind them diving when we're 4-0 up. They can dive all they want. But yeah. But on that note, we're going to
have to really, really pull it out the bag to get it. And our lads are capable.
We certainly are. We showed it against the big boys this year. We've played good football against Wrexham and against Notts County. We're not just going to lump it long ball. We're going to try and play. We've got Stevenage lost 3-2 to Northampton on Saturday. Well, let's hope it's the start of the decline before they come to the up the International Stadium. Well, on that note,
see me go scan past.
I did. It's floated through. On that note, let's hope we can get a good result at the weekend, and if not, we'll push on to Chesterfield and it starts again. Keep the faith. Have your say. Just do it in the right way. Everybody, it's not the end of the world if we lose on Saturday, but it's never nice. I know.
We can all get upset. I wasn't happy about getting beat off Scunthorpe, even though Scunthorpe just jumped out the league.
Yeah.
I thought we can at least get a point here. Yeah, it's disappointing. But there's no need to go on the way some would did, but never mind.
Yeah. Well, look, passion's right.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's the whole point of football, to be fair.
We're all guilty of it. It's easiest for us to say we're old men now. We've got more. We're not as hot-headed, as hot-blooded as we used to be, Mickey.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, Mickey's still very potent. I've had the snip. That's why I'm nice and calm. Right. On that note, snip. Right. Well. It's just too much information, you know what I mean? But had to be said. Calmed us right down. I used to be like a Jack Russell. On that note, see you later.